Hello, I've got loads of supplies on my desk today because I'm going to do a test on some paper. Now this is ordinary photocopy paper that you put in the printer, and this is sulphite paper. It is quite thick, and let me zoom out a little bit. It is slightly bigger. You see that difference? Slightly bigger than A4, and it is a kind of off-white colour, more of a very pale cream colour. So the reason that I'm testing supplies on this today is because I've been using this paper, the sulphite paper, to make books with, and I want to be able to tell people what the paper is like and what it's good for in terms of mediums. Now, like all paper, there are two sides to it. This side is smooth, so is this side, and this side is slightly rougher, and I really don't know if the camera will pick that up. So to start with, I'm just going to put at the top, this is the smooth side, and this is the slightly rougher side, so I'm just going to call it rougher. And there will be no great art today. I just want to see what it's like and what it behaves like with the different mediums. So I've got some chalk pastel pencils, I should say, some alcohol markers, some Copic Chow markers, some water-based markers, paint markers, colour pencils and watercolours. There are obviously other mediums, but I don't have those out right now. I may get the soft pastels and the oil pastels out later, but not right now because there's enough on my table just now. I've also got some Pigma Micron pens. So let's see how this paper behaves. Clear myself some space. Can you see me? So this is a little bit like a thin mixed media paper. It's not quite a cartridge paper, I wouldn't say, although maybe it's the same. So this is a Micron 12. That feels slightly rougher on that page and slightly smoother on that one. And this one is a Micron 02. And definitely scratchy. Oh, this was a Micron 10 grey. Don't know which grade, but it's grey. So there's a definite difference in the line quality, I would say. It doesn't seem to bleed out on this, whereas there's a little bit of bleed out on that one. So let's try the chalk pastel pencils. These are General's ones. Oh, I hate that sound. I really hate that sound. It goes right through me. Let's do this one. This is lavender. So they smudge like they do on most papers. And again, I'd say there's a smoother lay down on the smooth side and there's more gappy bits on the rough side. But again, that's probably what you'd expect, and neither of those have gone through. So let's try the Colorista alcohol markers. These are the ones that we got in this month's Scrawler box. Scrawler box is a monthly subscription box in the UK. I'm not an expert with these at all, but let's see what these do. Oh, I should just write down. Even with an ordinary pen, it feels a bit nasty to write on the rough side. So, that's one layer, 2 layers, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, even on one, that was going through that paper. It isn't pilling the paper though, so that's good. I'm using the brush pen end, that's why it's gone a bit funny. So let's see on the rough side. One, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, gone through on that one as well. And I don't know if you can see that this is the smooth one. Oh, sorry, this is the smooth one and this is the rough one. There is a slight colour difference between the two. I don't know if it's the way that I laid the pens down, but this looks a bit paler than this one. Let's see if it works with the teal colour one as well. Well, dark blue it's called. Let's use the brush end again. Three, 4. One, 2, 3. 4. I suppose I should write alcohol. So again, I'd say there's a slight colour difference, not much. So you can use these on it. I don't know if it's good for the alcohol pens because I'm not an expert with them, but it's certainly not going to damage the paper and pull the paper up. Might damage your pens, I don't know. So let's try these Koi colouring brush pens. This is smooth, this is rough. I'll do the same thing again actually. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that hasn't gone through. There's no pilling on the paper yet, but I feel if you went another layer, then maybe. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. I can feel it dragging on that 4th layer. But it's not feathering out, which I thought it might do. So that's the brush pens. Should we try it with the chow markers as well? These have got a bullet nib. Not a bullet nib. Chisel nib. Yeah, they've gone straight through as well. So this is the rough one. You've got faint lines showing through on this one, whereas you didn't with that. And I don't know if that's because of the chisel. This is the brush end, so this is Copic Chapel. So those are the alcohol markers. Goes back in there. Let's try an acrylic paint marker next. This one is by Edding. That feels quite scratchy, and the paper does feel a little bit rougher. Okay, we've done those, haven't we? We've done those as well. Let's see how good old Posca manages. This is the smooth on this one, and this is the rough on this one. Yeah, I feel that's gonna rough up the paper. Doesn't feel too bad though. I've got some thin nibbed ones as well. I don't think you'd want to go over it too many times. So there's Poscas. Let's try colouring pencils next. These are Faber-Castell polychromos. Okay. So these are laying down okay. I think that got up to 4 layers there. Just pressing a bit harder each time. I think you probably get 4 layers on that. Again, not a pencil expert. So that was the smooth side. Let's see what it looks like on the rough side. You can see more of the grain of the paper here. Is it grain or is it the tooth? I don't know. That's 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. Maybe get a bit more lay down with this. Do it this way. But you can definitely see more of the paper on this one. So that's 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. So they seem to be okay-ish. And watercolours next. Now I have a feeling this is not going to react well with watercolours. These are Winsor & Newton professional watercolours. One of my favourite palettes. No idea which blue this is, but it's blue. And this is not going to act like watercolour paper. But if people are wanting to use it in a sketchbook, they need to know whether water will work, whether water-based mediums will work. So, yeah, definite buckling of the paper. Not so much on this one, but I don't know if that's because did I not use as much water? I don't know. Let's see. Let's use a ton more water. See if we can mix on the page. Okay, so that's watercolour. So yeah, there's a lot of, let's check, you can see that a lot of buckling on that paper. That's the rough one, and that's the smooth side. Again, a lot of buckling, but it seems to be drying faster on this one than it is on this one. Let's just use an ordinary pencil now, shall we? What shall I draw? That's always the question. Let me draw my mug. So that feels okay. Let's see what happens when we colour in, the shade in, I should say. I don't have a blending stump handy. That's unusual, usually I do. Okay, so it blends out quite nicely. That's on the smooth paper. Handle's all wrong, but never mind. This is on the rough side of the paper. So yeah, it smooths out okay-ish. And what else have we got handy? I do have a bottle of ink here. but I don't have my dip pen handy, so let's just use a paintbrush. So this is Rora and Klinger. Oh, Klinger. So that writes quite nicely. Let's just see what it paints out like. So the ink looks okay. A lid on that before I tip it over. Close those up. So let's just review what we've got. I remembered I've got the Sennelier artist pastels that we got in these are oil pastels that we got in Scroller Box. It was this green that reminded me, because look how close is that green. Let's just zoom you in again. So again, this is the smooth, and see me, can you? This is the smooth paper and this is the rough paper. This is so creamy. I only actually ever use oil pastels when I'm doing an art class with my art teacher, because I don't like them. I find them incredibly difficult to work with, but I think that's more because I haven't really played with them and I don't like the texture. So that's the smooth and that's the rough. They're not a disaster, but I wouldn't say they're particularly designed for oil paper. Not oil paper, oil pastels, sorry. So there we have it, a quick comparison of different art materials on this paper. Thanks very much for watching, and if you've got any questions I will be happy to answer them. I'll put a link for this paper in the description box below. I got it on Amazon. Thanks very much for watching, and I will see you again soon.